Awesome. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly agency training. My name is Mario Delgadillo. All of you know that, and out of Dallas, Texas. And I'll say Frisco because Ron always gets upset at me when I say Frisco, Dallas, not Frisco. But let's talk about the agenda tonight. Real simple, guys. We're going to talk about our vital factors, our core values. And we're going to dive into some updates. So most of you guys know that I spent the weekend in Las Vegas with the leadership of our company, okay? And I have so much to go over with you guys, but I've decided that I'm actually just going to talk to you about a couple of things tonight. So it's gonna be a little bit of a shorter meeting this evening, but very, very powerful. And I'm excited that I have you guys on, okay? Because I have a vision that is very different than most. And I'm going to share this vision at the end of our meeting today, okay? So that said, let's talk about our vital factors. So what the heck is a vital factor, okay? So if you guys are familiar, or maybe you've even just watched TV before, right? When somebody gets rushed to the hospital, right? And what do they say? Hey, check their vitals, right? There's certain things that you check to make sure that somebody is okay. And these vital factors are extremely important to whether or not this person is going to live or not. So in our business, we have 6. And what we're going to do is we're going to design our coaching, our accountability, and our strategies around these 6 things. Okay, because if any one of these areas are hurting, your business is going to hurt. Okay, so number 1 vital factor is personal development. Okay, now most people, okay, when they get into being self-employed or going into like an entrepreneurial venture, they're not used to that. You know, I'll just speak from my own personal experience. I was raised by a dad who was in education. Okay, he was a firm believer about go get your degree, right? And so that's what I did, and I went into education. Then I got laid off, right? And so what happened to me was I had to figure out a way to make money. And so I ventured into the entrepreneurial space, but guys, I didn't know what I didn't know. Okay. And what do I mean by that? I was so used to working for someone else my entire life that I didn't understand how powerful personal development really, really is. So if you're taking notes, and I hope you are, first thing that I want you to write down, guys, is you're not going to get to where you want to be being the person that you are right now. Okay. And so where we are in life, and we're going to stick to financial, where we are in life financially is a direct reflection of who we are right now. So as you become better as a person and you elevate your game, you're going to also elevate the ability to make more income. So I want you guys to understand that you should all become students of professional development and personal development. So personal development talks about becoming a better person. There's also spiritual development, right? We always want to spend time with the Lord every day. You should be reading your Bible. You should be surrounding yourself with people that are going to make you better. But then you go into professional development. And there's even different areas of professional development. There's areas like sales training, right? There's ways that you can become a better salesperson, asking open-ended questions, how to, have time management. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And the best part, though, guys, is if you have YouTube, you don't have to spend a dime. I mean, just about every single book is on YouTube for free, right? Podcasts is another one. I am always on podcasts, right? I'm trying to do my part, physically and get healthy and lose weight. So I'm on the bike, the cycle machine there, and I always have my headphones on, right, listening to audiobooks. So number 1 is personal development. Number 2, lead generation. It's very important that you're always generating leads. Now we're blessed because with Advantage One Brokers, we happen to work with some of the best lead generation outlets that I've ever seen. So the leads that we have coming in are top quality. We're not going to be calling trash. And so that's huge. But every single week, you should be buying leads. Okay. Every single week. Now, we'll get into more details because on a weekly basis, going forward after tonight, I'm going to pull one of these sections, whether it's prospecting, new appointments, applications, and referrals. And one per week, we're going to break it down. Okay, so I'm not going to spend too much time there, but just understand you have an engine, right? Leads are the fuel to that engine. If you're not constantly pouring leads into your engine, sooner or later it's going to dry out. You're going to run out of gas. Number 3, prospecting. Prospecting is probably the thing that most people know is the most important, but it's probably the first thing to fall off of your agenda for the day. It's so easy to let it fall off the table. For whatever reason, guys, I've been in sales for a long time. And even me, sometimes I'm like, oh man, I got a prospect today. Oh man, like you kind of create ways to like not do it or let things get in the way. It's like, oh, you know what? Oh, I gotta call this guy, Sandra. She was supposed to send me an email. Let me call Sandra. Hey Sandra, it's Mario. Did you send that email in that so you feel like you're busy, right? But if you're not prospecting, it's completely separate, guys. So write this down. Prospecting is the single most important part of your daily objectives, okay? Now, I want you to understand that we're going to teach you how to do what's called a DMO, which stands for the Daily Method of Operation. Everybody's going to have a different DMO, okay? Why? Because some of you guys work full-time jobs. This is your part-time gig, right? So you have to have a daily method of operation so that you make sure you're doing your business on a part-time basis. But it's got to be done every day. So when you only have a little bit of time, you have to maximize what you're doing during those times. And the only thing, the most important thing is prospecting, okay? It's picking up the phone and calling new clients and talking to them about scheduling new appointments, which is the next one. How many new appointments do you have on the books every single week? And to a degree, guys, it's a numbers game, okay? You will get what we call porched, okay? Joanna knows what getting porched is, right? I got porched last week, and it was the funniest thing. Porched means I have an appointment scheduled. I show up at your house. I ring the doorbell, and all of a sudden the TV goes off, and you hear everybody go. And I'm like sitting at the door, tick, 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 tick. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I know you're in there. Open the door. And they don't answer, right? We're all going to get porched. So the only way to make up for that, and it doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. The only way to make up for that, guys, you got to beat with numbers. You got to have so many appointments on the books that even if you get porched, you're okay, right? And we'll get into how to get that, but you got to be monitoring your new appointments every week, okay? Applications. Again, I've got to be submitting a certain amount of apps every single week because some apps clear in 24 to 48 hours and you get paid in 4 to 5 days. Some apps, they get cleared in like 6 weeks, right? Some of these bigger IULs or some of these bigger annuities, they take a little bit longer. So you've got to be constantly putting oil into the engine, gasoline into the engine at all times. And the number 6, this is one that I really want us to be leaders with in the company, right? I don't hear anybody else in the company talking about referrals, okay? So I'm going to teach you guys how to get referrals. But I'm not talking about referrals like your buddies that are in network marketing. You guys know what I'm talking about? Your friends who are on the pyramid things, and they're constantly like sending you messages in your direct mail, or they're asking you to do that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying after I sit down with somebody and I'm able to bring value to you and your family, I'm able to help you write a policy, you're happy, I'm happy, and I say, hey, listen, Luis, only if I've earned it. Who can you think of that might be benefit from having a conversation with me, right? That's how you get a referral. Guys, you don't understand that getting referrals is literally a numbers game, okay? Don't expect to get a referral every time. My rule of thumb is I go for 9 no's to get 1 yes, okay? 9 no's will get you 1 yes, okay? But sometimes people get so wrapped up in hearing no, they're like, oh my gosh, 8 people just told me no today. I'm the worst ever. Boo-hoo me. No. If you change your mentality on getting that no, every no is just 1 step closer to a yes. So, hey, I got to get 9 no's to find my yes. So, hey, only if I've earned it. Can you think of anybody else? Yada, yada. Most of the time, I'm going to tell you, they're going to be like, yeah, not right now, but I will. Okay, cool. Here's a couple extra cards, right? I appreciate you, right? And you leave. Now you got somebody in a couple of days, you're going to call them back anyways. So when you call them back, hey, have you got your policy yet? Did you get any approval emails yet? Whatever it is, then you say, hey, Jenny, remember I left you a couple cards. Can you think of anybody else that I might be able to talk to? You'd be surprised, guys. Here's what you'll find. You're going to get the majority no's, but we'll get one or two yeses, and those yeses that come from that are sweet. Because they're going to be like this, oh my gosh, you know what? I did. I spoke to my brother-in-law, and I told him that I got this particular policy, and he really wants to learn about it too. I told him I was going to give his number. Sweet. And that is what you call a knockdown. Okay. That guy you call, I'm like, hey, Joe, your sister Jenny asked me to give you a call. Oh yeah, she said that you would be able to come by this week. Sure will. and see what's cool about that, guys, is if you get 10 no's and one yes, that one yes will pay for all your leads that week. And it was free, right? Imagine if you get one referral policy per week. That's an additional $8,000 on average every single month, just because you had the toughness to go through the no's every single time. So we'll get to that. Vital factors, know them, tattoo them on your arms, write them on your forehead, but put them around always. Vital factors are extremely important to your success, okay? So our core values, guys, this is just who we are. We are about production, okay? We are committed to production, personal growth, ownership, okay? You guys have heard me say this in every situation that you find yourself in. You can become an owner or a victim, right? And only you can say, you know what, yeah, a lot of things went sideways, but man, I could have probably did better here. I could have did better there, right? So leadership and mentorship, and then we want to ultimately put all these together so that we can have a work-life balance, okay? So we're going to jump right into the updates, guys. I'm going to spend the majority of the rest of the time there, okay? Like I said to you, I've got a ton of stuff to go over, but before I go there, I want to spend some time chatting you up and setting the table here real quick, okay? So let me stop this square, okay? You guys can all see me still, right? Okay, so we went out to Las Vegas this weekend, and just so you guys understand the structure of our company. So the president of our company is named Spencer Long, and the vice president of sales is Christopher Curry, okay? Now, they've both been in the insurance industry for 12, 13 years plus, okay? Very much successful, built very big agencies, and opened up Advantage One Brokers about 6 years ago, and has operated primarily like a wholesaler. And so what does that mean? That means that this company has contracts with a ton of different carriers. They have their own compensation structure set up. But what Chris and Spencer decided to do was specialize in finding the best leads possible, okay? Now, people could approach them over the years and say, hey, we want to partner with you guys in one of two areas. Area number one, we want to wave the AOB flag. So we're going to become part of your brokerage team, and we have taken on the identity of Advantage One Brokers, and we're building an agency, okay? Now, number two is somebody comes in, let's say Joanna and I decide to meet with Chris and Spencer, and we say, listen, we love everything that you guys are doing, but we want to create our own agency. We want to be called the elite agency. And so we create our own marketing, we create our own logos, but we use Advantage One Brokers as the backbone, right? So we have our own team name, we have our own identity. For all practical purposes, like visually, we're completely separate from them. People wouldn't even know that we're partnered, but we use their compensation, we use their carriers, we use all the things, and they support us with lead flow. Now, when we came over, we decided to do the first, okay? The first was, hey, we're going to wave the Advantage One Brokers flag, right? And so when myself and my partner came over from another IMO, in that influx, there was over 1,000 people that came, okay? So just out of nowhere, this huge group of agents came at one time. Now, during that time, before that happened, let me reverse a little bit. Mr. Brian Pope, write down that name, Brian Pope, is the CEO of a company called Quility, okay? Now, Quility is a very, very strong company, and it owns a company called Symmetry, and it owns another company called Assura. Okay. Now these two companies are very much like a corporate company. They have employees, and it's like a W-2 style run corporation, but they're big time insurance companies. Now Brian Pope started the very first IMO, independent marketing organization, in the 80s and sold it. Now there's been all kinds that have come after. World Financial Group, Primerica, People Helping People, all these they're called IMOs. He created the first one and he sold it for $80 million. Okay, so if you ask people in the insurance world about Brian Pope, they all know him, love him. He's like one of the godfathers. Well, he happened to be Spencer and Christopher's mentor. So about 3 years ago, he partnered up with them and said, hey, I'll take a percentage of the company, and I'm going to bring two things to the table. My stability, right? Our anchor of being a company for as long as we have, but also Brian Pope and his business partner, Kevin Jensen, focused on technology, okay? They want to be able, okay, to surround us and anybody that's partnered with the company with an unbelievable amount of technology, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit more about this, but I'm just trying to help you to understand the timeline to how we got here, okay? Some of you guys might already know this, and so if you do, please forgive me. But, okay, they said I'm breaking up. Okay now? All right? Somebody's saying I was breaking up. Thumbs up if I'm good? Okay. So essentially what happened is when we brought over those 1,000 agents, okay, Brian Pope and his team were like, hey, hold on a minute. Y'all are moving real fast, real big. And they said, let's renegotiate our contract with you. And so because they were going to be supporting way more people, they tried to take a little bit more of the company. And Chris and Spencer were like, no. So there was a little bit of a friction that happened over the course of the last couple of months. And during that time, they tried to play hardball, and Chris and Spencer said, okay, see ya. So there was about a 2.5 week period where we had kind of like broken up with Quility. And then they decided, hey, let's all get back together. And so we finalized a new and improved contract with Quility, okay? What does that mean for us? Guys, the amount of technology and resources that Quility brings to the table for us is unfreaking believable, okay? And so all of that being said, we were there with Brian and Kevin and Quility. We were there with Spencer and Chris, who are our leaders. We were there with a few of our carriers, actually representatives there, okay? And so they were talking about the different products that they offered, and some of the managers. So it was about 20 of the managers that were there, okay? So we had a great weekend, ate a lot of really good steak. I probably smoked a couple cigars. I had just a couple really good old fashions. So it was a really, really good weekend, okay? That said, let me share with you, okay, some updates, just a few. So first and foremost, if you want to hear everything, I recorded on my iPad, okay, every single speaker on Saturday, the audio. And then I converted it and I put it onto our team's Google Drive. So if you're not on our Google Drive, okay, send me an independent message, whether it's through text message or whatever. Just send me your Gmail email address and I'll add you to the Google Drive. Tons of resources there. But on our folder, there's an actual folder with all of the audios. There's three that I want you to listen to for sure. You can listen to all of them, but three that I want you to listen to is The Future of QLT, which is Quility. It's Brian Pope and Kevin Jensen. There's one that's called Thrive, and it's Christopher Curry and Kevin Jensen. And then the third one is DFL, which stands for Debt Free Life, which is a new product that's coming. Guys, listen to those three, okay? Unreal. If you are excited right now, you probably won't be able to sleep tonight, okay? Listen to those three. So we also heard from Royal Neighbors. We heard from AMAM, QLT, Foresters, a lot of really good tools. In fact, for Foresters, somebody write this down and remind me when we're off. I have 3 links that I'm going to send you guys to save to your phone or wherever you save stuff. And there's some really cool tools that they gave us for foresters to use, some mobile tools and things of that nature, okay? But it was really cool. Make sure you listen to all of those guys. Now, before we move forward, I want you to understand something, guys. This is our moment in time. Have you guys ever met somebody and or maybe you knew them and all of a sudden they're like, man, hey man, have you heard about Ron? No, what happened? Dude, he blew up. Ron? Yeah, man, he was just like in the right place, at the right time, and like their life was changed overnight, right? And somebody's like, man, I wish I had my opportunity. This is your opportunity. At the end of our meeting, I stood up and I shared with a lot of people. I said, look, guys, I don't think you truly understand what it means to be in this room. 99% of you will never be in a position like this ever again in your life. See, because what you have, guys, in that room at least is what I was telling them, is you have the opportunity to be sitting at King Arthur's, Knights of the Round Table. You're at that elite group where you have owners who have all the resources in the world and actually desire to hear from you. They want to hear your input, and your input can actually help to shape and mold the foundation of a company that's going to do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars over the course of the next 10, 15, 20 years. And simply put, you are going to be at the top. You are going to be early. Have any of you guys ever heard that getting in early is really what matters most? Absolutely. I know people, myself included, that have made an incredible amount of money just being at the right place at the right time. So guys, timing is right. Let's just be 100% honest and open with one another. Our marketplace right now, because of what's happening in our nation, has never been more open to talking about or thinking about mortality. Would you agree? More people are thinking about death now than ever before. Think about your kids. If some of you guys have little kids, I don't even think I ever even thought about death once till I was like probably 17, 18 years old. I was invincible. Now the masses of children are being taught, hide your face, run from people, the kukui's gonna get you, right? Like, what's the deal, So the marketplace is open. People want to know about like the end, what's gonna happen. Not only that, what COVID did do is teach people how to use technology, how to use Zoom, right? So the market timing couldn't be better. Positioning, guys, we're at the very beginning of this company. It's going to be ridiculous. The leads that we have, the quality of our leads are second to none. The technology that they're going to bring to the table is ridiculous. The compensation is right. So I'm going to be here to tell you guys, listen, I don't care if you do this 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week, or 80 hours a week like me or Joanna, okay? Whatever you decide to do, if you've ever decided to commit to something with everything you've got, it's this. Hey, Mario, I can only afford to do 5 hours a week. Well, within those 5 hours, man, sell the hell out. Go hard. And I'm going to give you some real examples of why you should, okay? But it's there. If any of you guys, anybody here want to make some serious income? Anybody? Okay? Listen, I don't care. Like, I love money. I do, right? Because I know that money in the heart and the hands of the right people can do so much good, right? And I have little ones. I have family. I need to secure a future for them. So I'm all about it, guys, okay? So let's talk about Quillity, right? Quillity was created, and this is verbatim from the training. They said was created to buy, build, and rent out technology to empower the distribution. That's why they created Quillity. To create, to buy, or rent technology to help build and empower the distribution. So if you're working with Quillity, which we are, you have access to tons and tons of technology. What does that do, guys? It makes our job easier, okay? Now, this was another thing they said, which was awesome. He said to max out your income in this industry, there's 3 ways to do it. Number 1 is you just got to sell more. Number 2 is you got to sell bigger. Or number 3, you've got to duplicate yourself. So what does sell more mean? Well, if I want to make more money and I'm averaging 5 deals a week, I just got to go sell 10, right? If I sell 10, then I obviously make more money. If I want to sell bigger, right? Let's say the average policy I'm writing is $1,500. If I want to make more money, I've got to sell bigger policies. So maybe they're $3,000. Or you duplicate yourself. Maybe I don't want to sell bigger policies. Maybe I don't want to do more than 5, but listen, I hire in and train up 4 or 5 people. And 5 people doing 5 appointments a week mean 25 in my agency, you're going to make more money. Here's the best part, guys. You get to choose what you want to do. Some of you will do all 3. That's me. I'm going to sell more. I'm going to sell bigger, and I'm going to duplicate myself because ultimately I want to have time freedom, right? So technology hasn't really turned over the insurance industry just yet, but we're about to do it. Think about this. The insurance and financial services industry, guys, is massive. It's $1 trillion industry, trillion. But for the most part, guys, there's some carriers that still want you to fill out a paper application. Like what? Right? So what we're going to attempt to do with Quility, guys, is flip the industry upside down, okay, by utilizing technology, okay? And you're going to be here because once we master this, once Quility is able to do what they're going to do, because they're talking about a lot of amazing stuff, the word is going to get out to the industry and everybody's going to come and you're already here. And when that happens, you're going to start seeing overrides like crazy, okay? And overrides are fun, okay? So imagine this with me. I think Ron and Dee may have heard this before, but a mentor of mine, his name was Jeff. He said, hey, Mario, is it good to get paid off of work that you do? And I was like, yeah. He goes, okay. He's like, is it better to get paid off of work that other people do? And I said, yeah. He goes, what about getting paid off of efforts other people do that you don't even know? And I was like, okay. He's like, that's called heaven. I was like, wow. Imagine you build, okay, an agency. You bring in 4 or 5 people. Those 4 or 5 people bring in 4 or 5 people. And next thing you know, you've got a big, giant part of your agency that's in Florida. You don't even know them. They're in a city you've never even heard of in Florida. And they're writing policies, and you're getting direct deposits all day long. $25, $30, $150, $200, $1,500, like, and you're like, I don't even know where this is coming from. That's why, guys, you see people in the insurance space that are making $3, $4, $5 million a year. And if you follow them on Instagram, they're always partying or vacationing because it's leverage, right? And why? Well, listen, I have goals. You have goals. We all have goals. And the beautiful part about AOB is we really don't need one another. I don't need to build a team to make $500,000 this year. Neither do you. So everybody gets to work for their own family, but then if the people above you get to override that business. So you're going to have a bunch of fired up people going out there, doing more, selling bigger, and duplicating themselves. And then we all get to reap the benefits. And why? Because of the leadership. The leadership is going to draw in so many people because of the things that we're going to do. And so it's an exciting time to be with the company, guys. Now, a couple of things that they talked about that I thought was cool. How many of you guys remember, I'm going to look on here. So maybe not most of you. It looks like everybody's pretty young here. But where credit cards started back in the day is you would actually have to go into a bank and fill out a paper application, turn it in, and they'd go back there and they'd decide whether or not they were going to give you any credit. It was like a line of credit, okay? And originally they would give you checks, and it was from your finance account. And then it kind of evolved into an actual card that you could swipe, but it was all done manually. And then what happened is as companies started collecting more data on people, right? They figured out, they said, hey, listen, what if we started pre-qualifying people, right? And then all they had to do was bring in a paper and said, hey, listen, I got a thing in the mail. It said you guys would pre-qualify me for $500. The work was already done, right? And so then it was easy, bam. And then now you get those and you just go online and bam, you're done, you're ready to go. Imagine if there was a technology that kind of pre-scored and pre-screened your clients, right? Where all you needed to do was find out their name and their email address. They type it in and it'll tell them, boom, 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 this is what you're eligible for. That's what they're working on right now. Guys, that's insane. Again, doing things that are going to make our life easier, okay? I thought that was crazy. Because, like, I'll give you an example. I have about 13,000 followers on Instagram. And I didn't buy these people, okay? They're real followers that are like-minded folks. And so if I were to put this link up that just says, hey, listen, I don't need anything but your name and your email address, plug in there, you'll find out what I can get you covered for. If I did 5%, guys, that's like a $300,000 week. When you look at like the actual amount of people that is doing a $1,500 or $1,000 a month or a year policy. And then what if we did that and we just created funnels? We started putting ads out on social media, drove people to the funnel, they put their name in and they were pre-screened and they followed. We didn't even have to be involved at all. That's the type of stuff they're talking about, okay? To be able to go out there, not replace us, but make our jobs easier, which is pretty awesome, okay? Now, let's talk about debt-free life, okay? So debt-free life, guys, is a product that we're going to be able to sell, okay? And again, listen to this particular product. Imagine going up to somebody and saying, hey man, I'm not trying to sell you anything, okay? I'm not trying to sell you anything, but I have this program where I could show you with the amount of money you're spending right now, every single month, just redistribute it into other places, and we create a strategy for you utilizing this technology. You can pay off your house in 15 years instead of 30. You'll be debt-free within 2 years. Same amount of money you're spending right now. Because what do people do? They're trying to like double pay on their credit card bills, or they're trying to pay off this one. The people are trying strategies. Would you agree? They're trying strategies to get out of debt. This one is proven. And all it does is it literally, they take all their information, they print it out, and they follow it. Now, if you get this client, the average, they ran this data over the last year. The average client pays out $4,100. So your AP, you know we get paid on AP, right? Annual premium. Okay. The average pay policy that they write is $4,100. So imagine if you made $100. I mean, 100% of the policy, making $4,100 a pop, and you don't have to sell anybody anything. You're just showing them how to redirect and get out of debt for free. Okay, it's ridiculous. That training is on there. And by the way, there's a training coming in Dallas on December 9th and December 10th. Okay, anybody who wants to get certified to sell this product, and they're only going to have 100 people there. Okay, so for those of you guys who are serious and are like, man, I live in LA, but I'll fly out. I don't care. I'm coming. I want to get, guys, I'm telling you, I am not doing this product justice. Joanna, who some of you guys know, Joanna's pretty seasoned. She's been in the industry a long time. Last year, she did over 100,000 on her own pin at a WAC company. So I can't wait to see what she does now. But Joanna listened to a lot of these. Joanna, did you listen to the Debt-Free Life one? Do you have anything to share? This is totally on the spot. Anything you want to share to the team about it? Let me see if I could ask to unmute you.
I just cannot wait. I mean, this is going to be the bomb. It will open the door not just to bigger premiums, but for more referrals. And anytime you help out someone fix a problem, not fix it, but have a solution to a problem, you got it. I mean, you're going to have so many people saying, me, you know, take care of me, help me, because you're not going to be charged. You're just going to be helped to solve a problem. And so by helping others, you're helping yourself.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. It's going to be great. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate that. So next thing we'll talk about, guys. Oops, sorry, I don't know what happened there. Oops, I think I stopped your video on accident. All right. Okay. So next thing is a couple things that I'm working on, guys, is in-home presentation slides. Okay. So I am not ashamed to say that I use tools all the time, right? As long as you can mask them correctly, you can use them like a crutch. So imagine having a presentation that you can have completely uploaded to your iPad, right? Or your laptop, and you're like, hey, listen, let me just walk you through what we're doing today. You just kind of go through it with them. And then at that point, it guides you through everything. They visibly, because a lot of times people learn better when they see, right? So they're understanding what you're doing, right? And then you just follow in and you go into the actual financial analysis guide. So let me show you what I mean by that. I think I have one here that I'm working on. Hold on one sec. So I'm working on a couple of them. I'm working on one. I'm probably going to do one slide. I mean, one presentation that then you can juggle between some of the other ones. So let's say it's an IUL, but you didn't know that when you first got there. Okay. As you're going through, you just skip ahead real quick and go to the IUL one. Okay. So, okay. I wasn't planning on showing you this, but I think it's a good, pretty cool tool. So something similar to this. Okay. So sitting there, hey, let me tell you a little bit about our meeting today. Is about my name is Mario Delgadillo, financial services specialist. For me, everything's about family. So my wife and I have been married 17 years, 4 beautiful children. We moved to California, from California to Texas in April, very active in our church and sports. Why is this an important page, guys? Because people buy you, right? They're buying me. They're starting to build trust. Here's what I get all the time. Oh my God, your wife is so beautiful. And I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I have 4 kids. Oh my gosh, look at your sons. And what's happening? Now we're bonding. The wall is falling down right in front of them, right? So then I come over here and I say, well, a little bit about my background. I spent many years in higher education. I've been self-employed for well over 10 years. I've done insurance, online education, business coach, and trainer. And my favorite quote is, if you help as many people get what they want, you'll always get what you want in life. That's by Zig Ziglar, right? So I always tell them right there, what does that quote say? My intentions are you focused, not me focused. So I'm trying to break down that wall, right? So now you could, and I always tell them, hey, grab a thing, take a picture of this. Boom, there's my license, okay? And by the way, if you guys don't have this, let me know. It's there's an app that's already done, and you literally drop it in there. I found that Texas Department of Insurance logo on Google. I saved it. It was and I dropped it on there. Every single state has their own logo. Drop it on there, put your name, put your license number, bam. You notice it doesn't say Advantage One Brokers? Here's the reason why, okay? And this is just my own thought process. Advantage One Brokers is very attractive to agents. But if a client started looking for Advantage One Brokers, you're gonna see like stuff on YouTube that it's like, hey, this is Mario. He made $187,000 last week. How did you do it, right? I don't want clients to be seen like agent like stuff. So I just say, hey, I'm licensed to the Department of Education. I'm Department of Insurance in the state of Texas. I have access to over 100 different carriers. Do you recognize any of them? Transamerica, Foster's, John Hancock, Mutual of Omaha. And they're like, oh yeah, what does this do? This brings credibility, right? People are like, oh, okay, yeah, I know that one, right? So now they're like, okay, good. Like this guy's, he's legit. He knows what's up. So here's what we do, okay? We do what's called mortgage protection. We also do life insurance, okay? And I also do future income planning, okay? Now, our objectives, okay? Now, this is more for the IUL, okay, and Index Universal Life, but this is what I do for my clients, okay? Now, guess what, though? When it's done, if I'm not working with an IUL client, I'll just skip forward to the next slide, okay? Just move to the next slide. But this is just one that I have for the IUL, right? So my objective, this is what I do for my clients, okay, Luis? Number one is eliminate fees. As you know, with your 401k, tons of fees. And they're usually like, yeah, right? So we don't have any fees. Mitigate and eliminate, it should say risk, okay? Create a plan so your money outlives you, and then preserve your principal, okay? That's really what my objective is for you, okay? Now, first step in doing this is information gathering and understanding your goals. And I show them. So I have a little sheet here. I'm going to work through this with you right now on step number 1. Step number 2 is once I get that, I'm going to compile what's called an illustration. It usually takes about 48 hours. Okay. And then I'm going to come back to you and I'm going to put that in front of you, right? And share with you what this could look like for you and your family. You see how simple that is, guys? But imagine being new, right? What if you were able to lean on this presentation like a crutch, right? You're like, oh, cool. This guy thinks you're being super professional, but in reality, you're just a scared new person. And you're just hugging on this presentation, right? And then what happens is you pull it out and you go, okay, cool, listen. So let me go ahead and get this information from you. And you're like, okay, so how do you spell your last name, date of birth, social security number, blah, 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 whatever. You're putting all the information. Do you have any 401k now? How much is in there? And it's literally everything you need. And then you say, okay, now this is for an IUL, okay? IUL clients are a lot different, okay? They're usually people that are like super okay, but with coming back a second time. But this is also designed to do over the phone, do over Zoom. Guys, I'm going to tell you one of the things that I'm going to be championing right now, okay, for our team, I'm kind of taking it on myself first, is I want to master telesales. How many of you guys would love, okay, to make $300,000-$400,000 this year and never leave the house? Why can't we? We have ridiculous leads. The quality is insane. We have presentations like this, right? And we have telesales. Everybody's on Zoom now, right? Think about what happened in COVID. It's a blessing, right? I know part of my family, we were having once a week, we were getting together and we were doing prayer on Zoom, right? I have a couple of my buddies, actually we're gonna do it this week. They're in California still. I said, hey, let's get together on, and we're all, okay, I'm gonna date myself here, but I'm like old hip hop guys, right? So we're like, let's get together. Let's listen to some music, smoke a cigar, and just crack up. But we're gonna do it on Zoom. We've done it a bunch of times, right? So everybody's used. Kids went to school, parents taught their kids on school. Why can't we champion telesales and never leave the house? I just told my wife today, I said, babe, I'm not gonna leave that. Why leave the house? Why? I mean, if I need to, awesome. But why? I can literally, you know, we all joke like wear a suit from the top down and you wear like shorts or boxers underneath. Why not? You know? So I'm gonna be championing telesales. The other thing that I'm gonna really try to do is I wanna learn the live transfers, okay? When I was in education years ago, we piloted live transfers where you literally logged into a system and you could be sitting there doing whatever you want, watching TV, have your headsets on, and a live transfer comes through and you literally go like this. Oh, this is Mario. And somebody is transferring a live person to you, but these people are already pre-qualified. Guys, they're gonna say, hi, Mario, this is, I've got Jenny on the phone. Jenny is interested in a term policy, probably about $100 to $150 a month. She does have a checking account. She's working full time and she's 48 years old. Jenny, this is Mario. He's your agent. He'll be able to help you. Thanks, guys. Come on. And then it gets even better. They're $50 a lead. But we have, and I'm going to go through the training. I'm actually going to fly to Florida where Lance is, Lance Rodriguez. He's actually the one championing this, and he's going to train me for a couple of days. But he has a script that if you follow it, you'll be able to know if this person is legit, right, or they're whack fast. Why do you want to know that? Because the actual lead vendor that we're partnered with, if you hang up within 2 minutes, they won't charge you for that lead. So if I get somebody who's like, I don't know, I didn't want insurance, I don't know what the hell this guy transferred me over for. Okay, cool, have a great day. I'm getting charged for that lead, right? Guys, so you're getting leads transferred. I want you to picture this, okay? This is not about cutting corners. This is about working smart, leveraging technology and becoming good at what you do. Because the only way you can do this is if you're good at what you do by becoming good in your skill set. Imagine this, okay? And I'm only saying this because this is what I've imagined. All of my children go to school during the day. My wife's been a stay-at-home mom for 11 years, and I work from home. I can go anywhere in the house with this on. So imagine I log into my system. The only thing that they ask you, the only thing that they ask is that you log in. If you say, hey, I'm going to be on today, you tell them how long you're going to be logged in and you log in. So whether it's 4 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, whatever, you have to be logged into the system. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, house is completely clean. Kids are at school. It's nice and quiet. I put my headphones on like this. Okay, sitting out there chatting with my wife, having a cup of coffee, and all of a sudden, oh, hold on, babe, call's coming in. Walk back to the office, do the thing, shoot him a quick Zoom link. 45 minutes later, I just closed an appointment, made $1,800, $1,900. I'm still logged in, and I go, all right, come back out. Hey, babe, just made $2,000. What? Yeah, I just closed out a policy. 5 minutes later, no, oh, hold on, got another one. Guys, who could get used to that? Who could get used to that, right? Why jump in a car and drive to somebody's house if you don't have to, right? I know you all don't live in Texas, see, but those of us that do, right? I carry this to my appointments everywhere I go. But listen, I don't want my wife going into random people's homes, right? So I've never heard anything happen. I'm sure there's probably been crazy things that have happened, but if I can avoid putting my agents out in homes and I can teach you guys. Now you might say, Mar, that's awesome, but I'm a shake the guy in the hand kind of person. That's okay too. This is your business. But I'm just trying to think ahead because for me, guys, this is about a long-term play, okay? I want to be able to look back and be like, man, we did everything right from the very beginning and we built a dynasty, okay? And so I'm going to finish with this. This is what I'm looking for, okay? I told you guys I have a different vision, okay? I am not about spaghetti on the wall. I'm not trying to recruit 500 agents. I'm not about trying to babysit 300 people. Me personally, I am going to hire personally 20 agents that I train to make $350,000 a year from home. And when I do, okay, I'm done. That's all I want to do. Because the only way for somebody to make $350,000 a year from home, that they'd have to build a little agency as well. Can you imagine what those overrides would look like? So for me, my question to you is, who wants to be part of that 20? Because if you want to be part of that 20, it's going to require something. It's going to require sacrifice. You're going to have to say, hey, you know what, babe, I'm putting my head down for 2 years, for 3 years, and I'm going to have tunnel vision. But I know that it pays off. I know that it will. You don't believe me? Let me show you this. You see this lead here, guys? Okay. Some of you have already heard this story today, but some of you have not. So I'm gonna take this off of screen share real quick, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of an incentive if you didn't already have one. So as you guys know, I've been working the IUL leads, and I was part of the pilot program. Okay, so they just made these IUL leads like open to everybody. I gotta put my fire on always. Get animated, huh? You're like, man, my agency, upline pulled out a gun in the Zoom last night. And so, am I freezing up? Am I okay? Okay. All right. So I started piloting these IUL leads. Okay. And so here's one that's blank. I'm not going to show you this one, but this one's blank. Okay. And so when you get this in your email, okay, it tells you when it was born, their name, and some people just put first name. Some people put last name, right? They put bold. Tells you a phone number, the age they want to retire. So this particular person put 67. Their age now 48. Now it says IUL benefits that are important to that person, and this person, and there's a bunch that they can check. This one put wealth accumulation, tax-free retirement, no tax liability, zero risk or exposure to market downturns, and then preservation of capital, okay? Then there's another section and it says, what investment strategy are you currently using? So this one selected IRA, it's selected other, which usually means they've got cash under the mattress, or self-directed brokerage account, okay? And then current income source, it says employed, okay? So this lead was born on 10/23, okay? So today's what, the 8th or the 9th? Yeah. So I've been calling it, as you can see, on the 25th, I attempted to call 2 times. And on the 27th, I attempted to call 2 times, okay? So I called this person today. Her name is Sandra. And she's the sweetest lady ever. She's like, hey, and it was so funny because I said, hey, Sandra, how are you? She said, I'm doing well. How are you? And I said, good, good. And she goes, oh, no, she goes, I'm doing great, ma'am. How are you? And I said, well, I'm a sir. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And I was like, no, it's okay. So, but from there on, it was a great conversation. So let me tell you why I'm sharing this with you. Because Sandra is 59 and a half, okay? So why is that significant? When you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll your 401k and you can move things around penalty free. So she's in that prime age. She wants to retire at 65 years old, okay? So she's got about 5 years ahead of her. So she starts to tell me, okay, what she has. So the first thing she says is she goes, well, I've got a Roth IRA and it's got $386,000 in it. She says, I max it out annually, which means I put in about $8,000. And then I do what's called a backdoor rollover, okay? Some of you guys will know what that is. If you don't, it's okay, you'll learn it. And I'm like, okay, I'm just taking notes. And I said, now what about a 401k? I see here that you say you have an IRA and a 401k. She says, yeah, I have a 401k. I've been putting in on it for 20 years. Okay, right in there. And Ron, listen to this. Ron Kabibi, listen to this. So she said, I've been putting it in on 20 years. And I said, okay, cool. I go, do you know roundabout how much is in that 401k? She said, oh, $1.2 million. I almost choked. I was like, what? I said, okay, hold on a minute. You have a 401k with $1.2 million in it? She said, yeah. And I go, and it's in the market? She's like, I know. See, what happens, guys, is if you have a 401k, it's in the market. So the market does well, it does well. The market tanks, it tanks. So whenever there's an economic downturn, people are freaking out because they're losing money in their 401k. And I said, you're 59 and a half, meaning you can pull it out of your 401k now, like penalty free. You need to do it now. She said, I know. So how many of you guys have a calculator near you or on your phone? Okay. So if we rolled over a $1.2 million 401k, we earn through F&G 6.5%. What is 6.5% of $1.2 million? Shout it out. I know a lot of you guys are on mute. What is it? You guys are on mute. Let's hear it.
Is that correct? 78,240?
$78,000. So I was in the office and I scared the hell out of my wife because when we were done, right, I got all her information and I said, okay, listen, just what you're going to do is send me the first 2 sheets on your IRA, where all your data is, and your first 2 sheets on your 401k. And then once I get those, I'll be able to do an illustration and I'll come back to you within 48 hours. She's like, awesome. So I'm like, okay, right. And I even go, and by the way, I'm not going to hold it against you because you called me a ma'am, right? And she starts laughing. And I said, okay, well, Sandra, you have a great day. God bless you if I don't talk to you, within the next couple of days, okay? She said, all right, cool. Hang up. And I literally stood up in the office and I went, ah! And Steph came running. She's like, what happened? I was like, I'm about to close a $1.2 million rollover. And she was like, what does that mean? I mean, that's $78,000. And guess what? Guys, these IULs and annuities pay the full amount, okay? Why? Well, the annuities do, because there's no insurance, there's no underwriting. They're basically taking a lump sum of money and sending $1.2 million to F&G, and F&G will cut you a check for the full amount. Guys, that's filthy, okay? So are these leads good? Yeah. Are they expensive? Yeah. They're 185 bucks a pop. Okay. But let me tell you, I bought 10. Okay. One, I already rolled over for $263,000. Okay. I made about 15 grand off of that. Okay. Or whatever 6.5% is off of 263. I rolled over another one for $63,000. Okay. That was an annuity. I'm working on a couple in Washington. Okay. Washington. I live in Texas. They are both going to do rollovers. Okay. So that would be 4. And this would be 5. So I spent about 1,800 bucks on 10 leads, and I could potentially make over 6 figures on 5 deals. All from home, right? And I know this group for the most part. So I'll say this, no jabs, no boss, controlling my own life, right? Managing my own kingdom. So do you want to be part of the 20? Because I'm going to give you everything I got. But I don't chase people. So I'll leave you with this. One of my mentors said a long time ago, he said, Mario, look, you take 1 step, I'll take 2. You take 3, I'll take 4. You take 0, I take 0. Okay? I want to run with hungry people. Now, there might be 20. Hey, statistics tell me that there might be 1 in this group. That's the statistics, like the law of large numbers. So there's going to be the vast majority of the people in that 20 come 1, 2, 3 years from now that I don't even know yet. So would I love everybody to be there? Let's do it. That said, I think for the most part, everybody here is licensed, okay? Or you're finalizing contracting. Starting next week, I'll finalize the days for these folks who want to say, you know what, man? I'm putting the hat backwards. I'm tying up the boots. I'm going to do this. We're going to start a weekly accountability group, okay? Where all we're doing is getting on, and I'm going to create a spreadsheet. And you're going to have to be, and I'm going to have to be accountable to numbers. Hey, it's not for everybody. Maybe you're like, hey, man, Mario, whoa, hold on a minute, bro. You're getting way over the top here with me. Like, I just wanted to do this kind of super chill. Go for it. More power to you, and I will love you just the same, okay? But if there's somebody here who's like, hey, Mario, look, I need accountability, dude. Like, when I go to the gym, I need a trainer, because if I don't, I'm not even working out, right? This is just like having a trainer for your business. We're going to jump on a call. I don't know if we're going to do it as a group yet, or we're going to do it one-on-one basis. But once a week, we're going to touch base, and I'm going to literally be like, Ron, go ahead and unmute yourself, brother. And Ron's going to say, okay, Ron, how many days did you work this week? I worked on Monday and I worked on Wednesday. How many hours per day? I worked 2 hours on Monday, 3 hours on Wednesday. Okay, how many dials did you do on those days? I did How many appointments did you schedule? By the way, you have to write the names down of the people that you scheduled appointments to. So we can't be fudging here, okay? Okay, how many new appointments did you see last week? Oh, it was this. Cool. So you do what you did last week. You share last week's production, and then you schedule goals for this upcoming week. Okay. Now, depending on how gangster you want to get, we would always throw money in the pot. So there's all these matrices that you use. Okay. So let's say one of them is dials. I wanted to do 300 dials this week. Okay. It's the whole week, so don't get scared. I wanted to do 300 dials this week. I wanted to see 5 appointments this week. I wanted to get 1 referral this week. And I wanted to get 2 applications. Okay. So let's say you miss everything, but you happen to get 2 applications. The most important goal is your new apps, right? So let's say you come in and you hit your apps goal, you don't have to pay. Right? We can do 10 bucks, 20 bucks, 50 bucks, whatever you want. Okay. If you hit your new apps goal, you don't have to throw the money in the pot. You're cool. But then let's say Ron Kabibi hits his goal for apps. So he's like, cool, I don't have to throw money in the pot. But Ron Hancock misses his goal for apps, but Ron's like, you know what? Here's my $30. I'm in still. Because it's kind of like a survivor thing, right? You get kicked out of the group, okay? So the people who hit their weekly goals, they get to leave with some money divided up amongst themselves. And Ron Kabibi, MD, you guys have done this before, right? In a different industry, we did it together. How cool is it when you hit your weekly goals and you also left with like $200 in your pocket, right? So for anybody who's a little bit competitive, right? Something you could do. You don't have to do it. Believe me, trust me, guys. This is not for everybody. But I'm looking for people because I have had people reach out to me and say, how can I be held accountable? Right? I want to make this type of money. I want to change my life. And my back is against the wall, right? So I want to make this happen. Mario, what can I do? Well, let's get into an accountability group together, right? And we'll go into more details. And if it's not for you, I still love you just the same. I'll still be there to help you every step of the way. We'll still have our Monday night training calls and all the other calls. But for anybody who wants to take it to that next level and wants to, I always say, put your money where your mouth is, okay? Let's do it, right? I don't ever take money from it. So if I hit my goals or whatnot, I won't take money from it. So even if I hit my goals, I'm not part of that. So like, let's say there's 5 of us in this. Let's see how cool this is. There's 8 of us in here right now. Let's say 7 of you guys miss your goal, but 1 hits it, right? And the pot was $30 a pop. That one person is like, yeah, I actually hit some policies this week, and all these people are Venmoing me money. Yeah, we're going to eat dinner this weekend, right? So it's just fun, competitive juices, but holding each other accountable. We've had different names for it. I prefer to just call it Ninja School, right? But if you guys want to do that, we definitely can get into it. But guys, I'm excited. This is our time, okay? This is our time, right? There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now, but somebody said this to me the other day and I was blown away. They were like, Mario, God could have had you born at any time in history. He had you born right now for this very moment, and God doesn't make mistakes, right? So I have to have faith in that, and I know that we're in this position for a reason, and I know that we're in this company for a reason, so we can help people. Because guys, you know, I know Joanna and even Ron and Dee, you guys were in insurance in the past. It feels awesome to help somebody. Like when people like get that policy, they're like, oh man, this is my policy. Like this is my protection. It feels good. Like we do good stuff for people, right? So anyways, just hang your hat on that. No, we're gonna have a ton of fun. We're gonna travel, guys. The company is putting together some ridiculous trips. Okay, some ridiculous trips. So you go out and do some production, and then we fly. They're talking about Hawaii. They're talking about Cabo. They're talking about Dubai. Okay, all expenses covered, paid for 2, right? To go and do this from home? Come on, guys. As you can tell, I'm pumped up. It's 9:30 here in Texas, and I'll probably still be up for another 3 hours just because I'm all jacked. But but otherwise, guys, any questions? Let me give you guys a couple minutes real quick. Do you have any questions? Anything you want to address while you have me on the line? Hopefully I don't get anybody who wants to argue like last week.
Hey, can you send that app for the badge?
Oh yeah, I'll send that out. Send me a message afterwards, bro.
Yeah, okay, got it.
And then I'll go through it. Yeah, but yeah, I'll do that. That badge is cool. Actually, go ahead, Isabel.
I just wanted to ask in regards to your schedule on how, like, what time frame do you usually work with? How late, how early do you call when you make your calls? How late do you call when you make your appointments?
Generally speaking, calls is 8 to 8. That's like the law. Okay, generally it's 8 to 8. Can't call before 8, and you can't call after 8. And then appointments, it's really up to them. Like you will run into somebody that'll say, oh man, I don't really ever get home until 7 o'clock. Okay, well, why don't we do an 8 o'clock Zoom, right? That'll give you enough time to, because you may know this, but I do, because I had a lot of family who worked like construction and stuff, or warehouse, I should say. When you get off late, you're a late bird. Like if you get off at 9, you're up till 2 or 3, like, because you just got to unwind. You want to watch some TV, like, so they're used to staying up late, right? So if somebody's like, yeah, I usually don't get home till 7, if you say like, oh, let's do 8 o'clock, 8:30 or 9 o'clock Zoom, you'll get people that say, yeah, right? I've even done appointments in person as late as 7 o'clock. Okay, so you'll be able to kind of get that feel and that vibe for yourself. So yeah, but that's a really good question.
So for me, it would be 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Pacific, well, it depends on where you're calling. Oh, if you're
I'm
calling here,
Texas
calling
customers.
Texas,
Yes,
yeah.
because I'm in
yeah,
California,
yeah. So you
so
actually,
my schedule will be a little different.
but you could be at a good advantage because you get to kind of call super early, but it's 8 o'clock here. Because are you still working for now, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
full time, but I have every other Monday off because I'm on a 980 schedule. So every
But
other
that's
Monday
cool
I
because
can
you get to like, if you,
Go
that's
ahead.
good. And if you're tough enough, you could get up at 6 a.m. and make dials for a good two hours before you go to work because you're calling into a different time zone.
Yes, yes. Okay, so I just wanted to ask that.
Yeah.
To know your schedules and stuff.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Good. Anybody else? Ron, this is what I'm going to show you. It actually, you can laminate it and put it on a lanyard, the badge. And then on the back, it says like if found. I don't even know what this QR code is for, but Darren put it together. So when I go to a home, I always walk in and I have my actual card. And I don't know where I put it, but I'll have my card and my badge. So I was telling him, hey, I was walking like this. I go, hi, my name's Mario. Remember I told you I was showing my badge? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I go, that's my business card. That's how I always do that. It's just kind of like my rule of thumb. Any other question, guys? Comments? Anybody excited? What are your thoughts? Oh, if you guys want to go to the training in Dallas, let me know. I'm going to unmute all you guys because I don't know if anybody's trying to get unmuted. Oh, shoot. I don't know how to do that. Ask to unmute. I'm going to just ask all y'all to unmute in case somebody's trying to talk and you're not able to. Okay, there we go.
I have a quick question. So about the debt-free life,
Yeah.
I just, how would the payout work for that? Because you said they don't, maybe I misunderstood, they don't pay for anything.
There is an insurance component to it.
Okay.
Okay. So if they decide that they elect to do that, then yeah. But also they're going into a program. So the more money they run through the program, that's how we get paid as well.
Okay. And is the money through like their, I know this probably sounds really stupid, but is the money through their debt that they're trying to get rid of, or is kind of just like those like freedom financial places?
Yeah, it's about how much
Okay.
No, they're not really negotiating like credit cards with it. It's none of that stuff. It's just a strategy to pay off your debt. But it's using intelligence to do it. There's different methods to pay off debt, and every method is different for every single person. So what the more amount of money that they're running through that to go pay off their debt, the higher the premium is.
Gotcha.
Okay, somebody's asking questions. How can I register for the Dallas training? You're already registered, Joanna. What is the time frame you will have the MP and FEX slides done for Google? Oh, I'll try to get those done tomorrow, Ron. The slides for the FEX and for the mortgage protection. Yeah, I'll try to get those. Guys, was my internet sucking tonight? It seems like I'm on a lag. It's really bad tonight. Okay. Next week, I'll go and get closer to the router. I don't know why. Kind of weird. Luis, you got anything, bro? I just, there we go.
No, I'm good. Thank you, Mario, for today.
Okay, good. Oh, by the way, welcome everybody. Welcome, Karen. I don't know if, Karen, if you can put your.
I'm here. Hello.
Hey, Karen, any questions? What are your thoughts?
I am a little overwhelmed at the moment, but I'm processing it as you talk, and I'm pretty sure that once I get practiced, I'll be okay at this.
there's a you're overanalyzing. Don't even worry about practicing. It's not about practice. You'll get there. You just trust the process. So she just got licensed. She's doing her live scan. So all of it is brand new to her. So don't worry about that at all. There's tons of training, and we'll be with you every step of the way. So don't worry about that. All right. So Ron Hancock, anything, brother? Before we're off, you good? Let me see.
Hey.
There you go. Oh, you muted yourself. All right, there we go. I unmute you and then you mute yourself. There we go. Go. There you go.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hey, what was the question? Because your internet got all
I
jibber
was just saying, how you doing? Any questions? Anything we're missing?
Hey, don't forget to send out the Forrester links.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Did you send me an email or a text on that?
No, I will. You want me to?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'll jump off and do it right now.
Yeah, everything else is good. Just maybe that checkoff that we talked about earlier.
Oh, okay.
That
All right.
crutch. Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I'll get that. Yeah, I gotta design that. That'll probably come tomorrow.
That's fine.
Yeah, because I gotta do a couple things to do tonight. But one last thing for those of us in the DFW, and I know Ron and Darylyn are going to be moving out here soon as well. Chris Curry told me while we were in Vegas that he is going to build the biggest and the baddest AOB office in all of the company in Dallas. And so he said it's going to have a podcast room. He said, basically, when we fly in leaders or we want people to come, it's going to be there. He's like, it's got to be something that people show up and they're just like, whoa. And so he's like, well, where? He goes, should I do it in Dallas? I said, no. And then he said, well, Greg lives in Forney. I said, no. And I said, you got to do it in North Texas. And I said, and if it's what you're looking for, you want to do it in Frisco. And he was like, all right, cool. So yeah, it's going to be exciting, guys. We're going to have the best office out here.
Question.
Yeah.
In regard to the Forrester's link, what are you talking about? Is that the diabetic calculator or what?
They sent out a couple different links that they utilize. There's a couple different calculators and stuff. Yeah, I'll send it out to you guys.
Yeah, because I have posted some of those, but I didn't know which one you were referring to.
Oh no, they gave out some links that were pretty cool, and I kind of copied them on my thing, and I'll send them to you guys.
Okay.
All right, so I'll get this recorded, converted, and put on the YouTube. And otherwise, guys, have a great night. I know it's a little longer than normal. I apologize. I always try to stay within the hour, but otherwise, I'm always available. Let me know if you guys have any questions. God bless, guys. Have a great night.
All right.